study the principles of Eastern wisdom, perform karma according to the principle. It is not that I studied the principle, I forget it. So the second step is perform our action according to the Eastern wisdom. Third is dedicate all the karma to the existence. Don't get attached to the karma. Now, if I get attached to the karma, I'm a good teacher and a bad teacher. See that? No. Teach the best. Fourth is pleasure-seeking mind should drop by understanding. The pleasure-seeking mind. You continue to enjoy everything in the life. And the fifth one, we discussed about drop all the sins. We understood the sin. Not in a religious sense, but the clear understanding of unconscious action leads to this. And constantly reflect the limited nature of a pleasure. There is an inherent defect in the pleasure. And our entire life is devoted to pleasure seeking. And the last one, last week we did consistently you are seeking the self, the mind, the intellect is constantly working in daily life, in personal, professional, and social life. What is my real nature? And today's the eighth principle is get out of the false home. Move to the real home. You know, these principles are for those people who are smart. Not for those people who believe in hard work, who believe in smart work. They can hack into this system to find the real nature. You know hacking? We have anti-hacking, Sergey knows and his friend knows. They are computer geeks. These principles are nothing but you hack into your own system to find your real nature. And then you start living into it. Hacking means you are smart and wise. If you don't take a smart action in your life, you don't get into that system. So today's topic is a false home and the real home. I again remember the story my master used to tell us. One person asked the shopkeeper, "Where is the real home? I have failed trying to find the home." So he used the word, "Where is the real home?" The shopkeeper said, "Go right, left, right, and then on the left, that is the real home." So he started walking. He reached to a place, right, left, and then left. What? This is a cremation ground. It's a symbolic. Real home, permanent home. He went back and he became angry. Shopkeeper said, "You asked me what is the permanent home. Any person goes there, never returns. That is why it is a permanent home." Cremation ground. Once you go there, you never return. It's a symbolic. That when your mind discovers the real nature, you settle yourself in permanent peace and happiness, and you never return to anxiety, stress, duality, conflict. That is the journey of meditation. The master used to be very tough in explaining these principles, but in a very simple way. What is this real home and the false home? We always chant asato ma satgamaya. moving from the false to the truth. Any stress in life, the mind should remain firm on this. Any anxiety, duality, conflict, problem, pain, craving, obsession is a false home. I should not start stretching. Why you inserted me? I don't believe you. Don't pay too much of attention that let me react, let me fight with you, let me settle the score with you. Just move away from that and make the mind quiet and happy. Quiet mind is a happy mind. And from the happy mind, rethink, reflect on the situations in the world. And you will find, yes, you are following the principles of this wisdom. Second part, false home versus real home. We are all living in our home, isn't it? And we always, our habitual mind says, this is my home. And what happens in this home, that the mind is constantly moving and seeking pleasure. We have to convert that pleasure-seeking mind to a seeker's mind. That for everything that I perform in my home is for the sake of discovery of my true nature. Look at your honey. There is no restriction, no do's and don'ts. But your mind, intellect is wise. You are aware that every action inside the home is done for the sake of evolution, for the sake of finding and expressing peace and happiness. Once the intellect is set on this principle, will you have fight on any day? Will you be in anxiety inside your home on any day? Think of this. Look at this principle. The master is saying real home. Third point, real home is my real nature. Apparent home is my personality by which I act, think, live in my daily life. So let the apparent nature be guided by my real nature. Are you getting it? Even if I have not discovered the real nature, let me push and force my mind to express in peace and happiness. Honey says you are crazy. Oh, yes, yes. I know I'm crazy. Inner awareness. You maintain that awareness. Okay, you're right. You're right. So you avoid the conflict. First thing. First, you avoid the conflict. Second, your intellect now starts thinking why this happened and what action you have taken for which someone says crazy. Your intellect understands, and if you are right and good, you can express the same at other time. And if you are not, change yourself. Change yourself. Are you getting it? Real home versus apparent home. Real home versus false home. Another instruction given to us by our masters. The moment we enter into the home, mind has been habituated to seek pleasure. You did work for 10 hours at the workplace, you return home and you sit in a living room. Now I am relaxed. So what we do for relaxation? Let me have a drink. Let me move my mind down, seeking pleasure. Find out, find out how to change that mind. So the next instruction is that every week or every day, even for half an hour, 30 minutes, if possible, or maybe an hour every week, close your eyes and go away from the home in the mind. You're not thinking about any activities, anything, pleasure seeking actions and attitude inside living into the physical home. Eyes are closed, going away from the home, going away from every relations, family, duality, conflict, what I look like. That is the real solitude. Just for half an hour every day or 1 or 2 hours a week. Find out the time. Tell everyone that I'm meditating alone. That is one way. That at least half an hour, I'm not thinking about anything, my wealth, my relations, my. See that what you are, as if you are not living in a home. If you do it at least for 2 or 3 weeks, the mind will never be the same. Mind will never be the same. Why? Living into that home, you experience that sense of quietness all the time. First, you will get the vibes, mind is seeking the pleasure, and my honey is not agreeing to that. And then there will be a conflict. Oh, hold on. Just to give example. My son is doing like this. My mind says, no, he should not have done this. Hold on. That quiet mind will reflect the root cause of the conflict, and your intellect will decide the right course. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Because now the mind is totally clear. That is the meaning the mind has to live in solitude. And it can happen with your partner. Partner may be your spouse, your son, your daughter, your friend, anyone. Let us sit together for half an hour every day. No talking, understanding, going away from the home, going away from all the relationship in terms of the thoughts and the feelings, emptying the mind, making the mind quiet. Solitude means making the mind quiet, not allowing the mind to run after anything. Your profession, Sergey, your boss, you may like your boss or you don't like. You may like your subordinate, you don't like it. So you get away from everything. I'm not saying every day, just for half an hour to discover the mind is always quite deep inside. That will help us to go to the real home. This is what our master says in the eighth step. Eighth step. What will happen? What will happen? Why is that kind of a solitude? To know how the mind reacts and responds with or without people. See that? To discover why mind reacts in presence and absence of a person. So you discover that. You discover that. To find out the cause of reaction, anger and hesitation deeper inside. To discover if with or without can I be happy. To awaken to higher consciousness that expresses peace and happiness. So the mind will say, in the beginning will complain without, I'm so sad. In India, we have a beautiful verse, and I think here also. What I don't remember, but With, we say something with or without. We use the word spouse, with or without wife. With wife, there is no life without wife when the person is not married. Something like this. So with or without. With a cup of tea, without a cup of tea. Use that phrase. With this friend, without this friend. Uh, So, what will happen? This mind will awaken to the higher reality that I am totally independent of anything and everything outside. I'm not saying that you stop doing business. I'm not saying that whatever you are doing, change everything. No chains outside. Bring a change inside. Either half an hour daily or maybe 1 or 2 hours. Either you do it alone or do it with a partner. The partner may be your spouse, maybe your friend. What is going to happen? The time will come, your mind and intellect will remain totally independent of anything outside. There is a story that I will relate in the following week. The great master Janaka, who was a disciple of a seeker and a disciple of another great master, Ashtavakra. So it's a symbolic story. Don't say, when what we say parable may not be a real story, but it conveys the masses of these principles. So Janaka was a king, but also a great enlightened master. So when you are a king, you cannot be a monk. That's a wrong notion. Huh? That's a wrong notion. So the Janaka invited 10 different monks from the cities to know what is, how to practice, how to reach to that state of awakening. Every monk has a very small bag. You know that monk means you don't possess anything. You are homeless, you're jobless. Huh? Jobless. So they all went to take a bath in the river. And from the river, you can see the kingdom of the king and the palace of the Janaka. Symbolic, parable, it's a parable. Sometimes we narrate a real story and sometimes we narrate a parable. It conveys the masses. Janaka was enlightened. They all were taking bath and suddenly the palace was on fire. And his master Ashtavakra has to prove that you may be a monk, but the Janaka is enlightened. He is always living at the highest state of liberation. So now the palace is on fire. All the monks ran to the palace. Why? To save their small bag. And the Janaka continued taking baths. Oh, well, it is on fire. It is not me. It is not real home. Let it happen. So the Ashtavakra, his master, said, see, Janaka continued taking the bath. He is such a big palace, and you have such a small bag. And all those monks, they ran into the palace and they saved their small bag. We all have a very small bags in our mind. That is the message. I don't agree with you. We have a small bag. If you follow like this, I will agree with you. Small bags. When you drop these small bags, you will keep smiling. You'll always be happy. Are you getting it? The message is that we have a very small bags. We keep it. That the moment anyone triggers it, I get annoyed. I'm into anxiety. I react. Do you understand that? So Janaka lives always in his real home, not the apparent home. And these triggers will happen every day in our life. They are bound to happen. You are a seeker, it will happen to help you progress on the path. And it also happens in the life of enlightened people. So the existence examines whether you continue to live into that state or not. So whether you are a beginner, find the solitude, check the quiet mind is there, and then allow the quiet mind to fall upon those reactions, events, and situations in life so that you have a right choice and the right decision to make. Are you getting it? Are you thinking it? It may happen, the trigger may happen in your workplace, trigger may happen in your relationship, trigger may happen into your profession, trigger may happen into your body. Last thing. For example, miss one or two sessions due to their outer conditions. I always reach and be present 10 minutes before the session. So I tell you, there was a student in Scottsdale, now in Paradise Valley, another student. He has been with me for the last 3 years. I told him that why don't you reach 10 minutes before your appointment? After 3 months, all his anxiety is gone. He says, I have a lot of time to think what I'm going to talk to my clients. There is a clarity. I'm waiting, and I'm waiting in quietness and calmness. See the other part of it. Sometimes my mind also says, oh, today I feel tired, and I instantly ask the intellect, how the hell you are tired? Should be ready. I change that thought. I do not create a chain reaction. The tiredness goes away. That is the meaning of moving to the real home. And that prepares you for a higher meditative life. I'm feeling bad. Don't talk to me now. Trigger coming from your unconscious mind. You're not settled into your real home. What other guy has harm? Does other guy has done any harm to you? He or she is speaking out of love and respect, and you say, "Don't disturb me. I'm tired." Are you seeing that? Can you have different expression? Can you have a choice? Ask yourself. And you have a choice. That is the topic of this eighth verse. We will understand how to apply these 8 principles in the verse 1 daily in our life. In following weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I'll tell you so how to remember that, how to recollect, and how to apply these principles in daily life. Once you have a basic understanding of these principles, can I repeat? See that How simple it is. What is that? I study the principles. I make the intellect wise and smart because of those principles. Now, I perform all my actions based on these principles. Second. Third, I'm performing my action, so I get rid of the ego from that action. I get rid of the desire for fruits of that action. I focus on the particular action, whatever I'm doing. Result will definitely come. I'm not changing anything outside. I'm doing a session with the people, but the internal mind is changed. Whether I'm doing a business, so then we discover why I'm performing an action at a lower level, at the unconscious level, because I'm seeking a pleasure in doing that karma. I drop that. Why I drop that? I give a full liberty to the mind to go inside, to be settled in meditation. Then another deeper layer of our unconscious mind starts thinking about sins. We all are born and brought up in a particular religion, whether we believe it or not. The mind is constantly dictated by, oh, this is not good, this is sin, this is no virtue. So we understand the sin in every act and we drop it. The sixth point, I reflect the inherent defect in pleasure that we discussed in detail. Pleasure seeking with reference to pasta. I need 100 of factors to fulfill in order to get 1 unit of pleasure. And that 1 unit of pleasure, eating pasta in a restaurant, takes about 10-15 minutes. If my mood is not good, even the pasta is good. It doesn't make any sense. In that restaurant, the seat is not available, I'm frustrated. So you need a lot of factors. So you understand the inherent defect in the pleasure. Simply you understand it. Keep in the mind. And then eat pasta, then see that what happens. You will experience it is the peace coming from inside. The happiness is coming from inside, not eating pasta. And the last, the seventh one, consistently seeking the self everywhere in every act. And today's, in that process, the eighth is moving into our real home. So you see that this first verse with 8 principles redefines my personal, professional, and family life. It redefines how to live, think, speak, and act in my personal life. At least you are not dictated by anxiety reaction. And because you start changing and redefining your personal, professional, and social life through your thought, speech, and action, your family life will become better. You minimize disturbances from the family life to continue the journey of the self discovery. You minimize your tension in the professional life. You minimize your challenges in the social life. Now the mind is not thinking a lot. Mind is not scattered outside. That mind is ready for higher meditation journey. Are you getting it? So let us start our journey of the practice of mindfulness now. And even if you are little bit, your intellect is wise in accepting all these 8 principles, today's meditation will take you much deeper and higher. Let us start. Close your eyes. Sit comfortably. Now we are practicing. Remember the simple principle. Eyes are closed now. Eyes are closed gently, and mind is looking within. Mind is facing within. Mind is aware of the space or emptiness or blankness. See that? At the same time, you will experience the steadiness in the body. Which principle I applied? I can use any. I applied the Shreyas and the prayers. What is Shreyas? What is right and good? Where to find it? Deep inside me. What is prayers? What I like and pleasant, I should be doing it. And people start following the prayers, what I like and pleasant, I should practice meditation based on what I like and pleasant. You will never progress. You will remain at the same stage, with exceptions of little relaxation and calmness every day. What I'm speaking to, we have the knowledge part. Now, the application of the knowledge is meditation. I don't have the knowledge of meditation. Let me close my eyes and I focus on the breath and I enter into meditation. No, that is not, according to the teachings. So, in the stage one, the second step is being comfortable. And now see that the mind navigates easily. Move the mind on the neck joint, be there, feel, sensation, comfortable, steadiness. The mind need not to struggle too much. I have been seeing it for the last couple of weeks, those who have been regular. It becomes such an easy navigation. Shoulder joints. I shouldn't explain deeply. You move the mind on the shoulder joints or directly say shoulder joints. The mind is there. You are there, feeling the presence and experiencing sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Hip joint. The mind is there, feeling the presence, sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Check your progress. You are progressing. It doesn't mean that you're returning today, you cannot progress. What is required? Smart, wise intellect, absorbed into the principles. Body is a matter, matter is inert, it cannot move until the mind says, whether it's a subconscious, habitual, or conscious mind. So, what the mind is saying, move the mind on the entire body, on all the joints of the body. See that? Is the mind asking to move the body? No, it will not move. It will naturally enter into the state of sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Even the teacher enjoys when the seeker follows those principles. Forget about it, follows the teacher. Don't follow the teacher, follow the principle. So you leave even room for the teacher to breathe independently. And now the third step in the stage one is being carefree. Do you remember? You're looking into the space where the birds are flying. It's a simile. Mental space is always there, behind the thoughts, feelings, sensation, images, memory, anxiety, reaction. Are the birds in the space one? No, they are different. Are the thoughts and the space in the mind are same? No. So I'm looking at the space while the thought, feelings, sensations, they come, they go. Be very clear. And if you experience that these thoughts, contents of the mind are separate from you, you know what is going to happen, which I have not revealed before. the body will instantly freeze. You start having a tingling sensation. What if the intellect is clear? Yes, that's another deeper aspect of the meditation. That is what Ashtavakra says. Yadi deham prathakratyachiti vishramyatisthasi adhunaiva sukhi shantah bandhamukto bhavishyasi. And the fourth is being casual. We have a glimpse of, faint glimpse of the existence. How do I explain in simile about your experience when I say the fourth step is being casual, natural? Is water not natural even if we have thousands of waves? If it is not natural, every wave will change the property of a water. The masters have given thousands of similes and metaphors. Wave exists because of the water, the existence. So when I say I exist with my body, breath, mind, intellect, ego, which all are changing because of the existence. And what is that existence? My real nature, pure consciousness. And maybe in few more sessions you will experience in the very first days. You start experiencing tingling, the body freezes down. What does that means? You are learning from your own experiences. Still, we will continue purifying the mind and gaining a focus. What does that focus mean? The mind continues to live within. So we have the two steps. We'll follow the same two steps again and again, consciously looking inside the. Where are you looking? You're looking inside the rib cage. Very good. So when you look inside the rib cage, my friends, in the space, and you are cheerful. Second point. Third point, you start breathing quick and short breath from the chest through both the nostrils. Cheerful mind. Start. You'll find a tremendous changes in your experience inside the head into the whole body. You may experience more tingling, more freezing. Enjoy, recognize, and accept. Continue. Don't start thinking anything. And stop it. Purification of the mind leads to new experiences. That is the goal of this breathing. And we will help the prana in the mind to rise from the lower to the higher nature. That will lead us to new experiences. So, What we do in the second step of the stage two, take a deep, silent, and slow breathing. First into the belly, then into the rib cage, up to the throat. While breathing out, make the humming sound louder, deeper, longer. Every new breath is longer, deeper than the previous breath. Make that as a goal and see what happens. Take a deep breath. Again, you are inhaling, not making a noise. Remember, if you are making a noise while breathing in this step, means what? The mind has taken over you. The mind is working on you. The mind is in a hurry. The mind that is in a hurry is a busy mind. Not because you have a lot of things to do outside. See that? Continue. Continue humming as deep, as long as possible. Continue. And stop this. The stage two is complete. Before we are moving into the stage three of Nyasa. But before, let us do one step for a few seconds. Move the mind from the crown of the head to the toes. You're not doing anything, simply moving the mind. And experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. You see, that is how I personalize these practices every time. Move the mind once again from the crown of the head to the toes and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Do it once again. And experience that sensation, relaxation, and stillness. I would say this is a precondition to succeed in the next step of the stage three, and that is nyasa. So start breathing little, deep, silent, and slow, not very deep. It's not a part of competition. Gentle, soft, little, deeper breath. Now, when the breath is going in, move in the mind inside the right arm in the space, either from the shoulder to the fingertips or from the fingertips to the shoulder. So, whereas there are three pointed, I would say four pointed awareness. First point of awareness, You're breathing little deeper. And when the breath is the driver, the mind is no, breath is the car, the mind is the driver, and the highway is the space inside the right arm. So, what you're doing? You're moving, driving in the space inside the right arm. So, what I'm adding the fourth point, you're not looking at the physical right arm, you're looking into the space inside the right arm. Why? To make the mind subtle. Why to make the mind subtle? To absorb into a deeper state of meditation. I made everything very clear. So your intellect and the mind should not fall into the conflict and the confusion. Move the mind inside the left arm in the same way. The space inside is the highway, the mind is the driver, the breath is the vehicle. Well, I'm giving you the simple metaphor. Nyasa. Many words, if you prefix, it becomes sannyasa. We always use nyasa also in yoga nidra, the psychic sleep. I will understand in the following sessions. Continue. In a way, you are not doing anything, just casually moving the mind in the space inside the left arm, and at the same time, you are experiencing that sensation, that relaxation and stillness deepens. You may have a tingling, numbness, you may variety of other experiences of vision of colors. Recognize them, accept them. Don't get swayed by them. Move the mind inside the right leg from the right side of the waist to the toes. The highway is inside. So the mind and the breath is going inside. Breath is going with a deep, silent, slow breath, and the mind is aware that it is driving the breath on the highway. That is the space inside. It is the stage three, the second step. In the stage three, we deepen our experience and check if the mind is living within. Now, inside the left leg, today we'll merge the stage three, what we are doing, and the stage four together. Let us see how we merge it. So you're moving the mind inside the left leg at this moment. The beauty of any practice that I give to you guys or anyone, you know what we are doing. It's a conscious journey, not based on what we normally say blind belief, not based on any cult, dogma, or religion. Pure knowledge is applied. You have the knowledge and then application of knowledge. That's why I talk in the beginning. And I'll move the mind inside the spine, from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Until now, we are in the stage three. Continue. Now continue moving the mind and the breath inside the spine, in the space. We have three milestones: mind in the breath, moving into the spine, starting from the crown of the head during inhalation. The moment it reaches inside the forehead, in the line of the forehead, simply drop Om. When it goes down inside, in line of the heart, Om, then inside the belly button, Om. And from there only, the mind, the breath rises above during exhalation. So you become aware of the belly button while exhalation, Om, heart, Om, inside the forehead, Om. You see that I added the Tantra aspect. Again, it reaches to the crown of the head. So the mind, the breath is moving from the crown of the head until the belly button. Why? We leave the lower nature, not concerned, not worried. Inside the forehead, that center is known as the center of wisdom. We talked about the third eye on Saturday's session, the Manisha. The center of our emotion and the aspiration inside the heart. And inside the belly button, the center of the action. You see that the way the human existence is made, janati, to know it, inside the head, ichhati, to desire and aspire it, inside the heart, karoti, action, center of action. First you act and later you think. Think that scenario. First you think and be clear, then you have a clear desire, followed by the action. Think the second scenario. You have a desire prompted by your unconscious mind, craving, obsession, and then you follow the intellect. Think of the third scenario. See that? That is the beauty. And now leave this step also. We move to the stairs by three-pointed awareness of the breath. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath, first point. You know the breath is going in and out, second point. Third, you feel the sensation of the breath. In a way, you're doing nothing. Yes, you're simply aware the breath is moving in and out. Because the breath moves, inside the nose you feel the sensation, and there is no change. You're aware of the three-pointed awareness, but deeper behind you realize you're not doing anything. When you do nothing, you are tuned to the existence. The entire journey of meditation or mindfulness is to tune to the existence. The wave, when it tunes to the water, will the wave be ever worried that it takes birth and dies? Will it be worried about its shape and the size? Will it think in terms of the time and the space? Tune to the water. I'm water. I am existence. I'm pure consciousness. That is revealed within. Outer level, you are aware of the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation, and no change. But something reveals within you. Where is the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom? It says how to reach to a state where revelation will take place in you. Then you need not to blame and say anything to the teacher. You know, I am the peace and happiness. I am the love and wisdom. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand. Bring your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. For a few seconds, you ask your mind, what is the experience? Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences to help ourselves and each one. How are you, Lara?
I am good. I had a interesting experience watching my mind today.
Wonderful. You see, in any step, the revelation will take place.
Mhm.
And that revelation helps you to express in thought. That is what the sharing of experience is.
Mhm.
At the same time, there may be the mind in ignorance is working. That is another aspect, how you share your experiences. We'll understand that. There are 70 indications by which you know where you are. Very good. How are you, Daniel? Daniel and Sergey looks alike. Are you guys brothers?
So I'm fine. This is the first time I'm in this session,
Yeah,
and that was interesting experience because my mind kind of disappeared. So I disappeared.
I like it.
I don't know how to explain it. It was not a dream, but
No, it was not a dream.
my feeling is that I'm not sure how to explain it, but I would say that I just disappeared in some way. My mind disappeared in some way for a moment.
I don't. I will give the words to your experience. That is what, you maintain awareness and the mind disappears. Then what happens? You transcend the body, the world, and the mind. You enter into a deeper meditative experience. Even having the first session, anyone can reach to that state. It's a wonderful. But we need to continue the journey. Otherwise, the mind will reappear with all its tantrums. It will trigger reaction and anxiety. Wonderful. How are you, Stephen?
Good, good. Very, very peaceful, quiet mind. There were moments in which it was so quiet that I felt like, what's going on up there that it's so quiet? And it's moments that
Wonderful.
at that moment I saw a lot of white light, like streaming clouds going by. And then I said, okay, I'm all good. It went back to the quiet mind. And as soon as you started chanting the Om Shanti, everything went to deep purple. And
Wonderful.
yep, and that was my experience.
White and deep purple. I'm limiting and I'm controlling myself not to explain with reference to these colors and the vision because that may trap your mind with lot of thinking. So Patanjali explains 29 stages, 29 or 30 stages of meditation. The last stage is known as Dharma Megh Samadhi. You experience as if the white clouds are there. And that converts ultimately, you settle into your real nature. Do you know, Lara, there are 29 different stages of meditation or mindfulness explained by Patanjali. So one should appreciate this master who understands those subtle movements in meditation so that he can separate one stage of meditation from the second. So it's a very deeper stages of meditation. So that is definitely a deeper state. How are you, Sergey? It's a result of regular practice with the wisdom. How are you, Sergey?
I'm good. I feel myself calm. I feel like I'm somewhere deep and I'm just hear your voice. And even sometimes I feel like I'm just I'm not clearly like getting what you're talking. I just feel your voice because sometimes I'm trying to understand that one, and sometimes just like my mind shut it down, and it just like
Gone.
go through deeper.
Wonderful. I appreciate this. We are progressing. So, how are you, Jerry and David?
Hi, doing well. Thank you. Really relaxing meditation. I loved your analogy today of the small bag. Um,
Yeah.
so, because we always have small bags during our days that may or may not trigger us, and if we practice noticing that and then doing the practice, not allowing ourselves to be triggered, right? I had a small bag incident yesterday, so I appreciated that.
You see, when you compare my trigger of reaction and anxiety with reference to the small bag, the first thing you have a smile on your face and you say, no, I'm not going to do it next time. And that's a great revelation. That's also changing our life.
Right.
Wonderful. We are progressing. And David.
It was interesting today for me. The breathing exercise had me see a hole in somewhere that was indigo, and then as soon as we came out of the breathing and we started doing the breathing through the driving through the body, I saw this white or crystal looked like a disco ball or something, or a big
Ah,
snowball. And then as soon as that was done, that stage was done, then it was like somebody unplugged my computer. It was just blank,
blank.
nothing.
What a beautiful experience. More or less, one part is like Stephen, you see that white ball. And I gave simple reference. There are 29 stages or 30 stages. I don't remember exactly, but not less than 29 different stages of meditation. So in one stage of meditation, Patanjali says dharma meg samadhi or meditation. You have the white clouds and feeling in the beginning. So it is not that we have to follow all the steps. You can jump into the higher steps instantly, the way that Daniel has the first experience for the first time. The mind disappeared. So that is really wonderful. So Rajkumar is another guy from India. We have been together for the last almost 20 years, 25 years,
30.
30 years. I won't say that he has been my student. I have been his student. So, so he has been meditating deeply and goes into a deeper meditation. So understand. So the following sessions, couple of sessions, we will revisit all these 8 steps together. Why? Because our personal, professional, and social life matters. Because many people ask me, so will I stop enjoying eating the food of my choice when I'm doing meditation? Will I lose interest? No. You will do it consciously. You will experience the happiness inside that is expressed as a pleasure outside. You understand? What is happening nowadays? That the mind is hooked to that food of your choice, and the moment you eat it, you have the pleasure, you stop eating, pleasure is gone. But now that happiness is expressed as a pleasure, even if you eat or you don't eat, you continue to be in the state of the joy and the happiness. That is the journey of our evolution. Meditation aims at conscious evolution and transformation of life. Not just sitting with a closed eye. I've been doing meditation for 1 hour, 55 minutes, my mind was distracted, and another 5 minutes, I was sleeping, so I'm totally relaxed. That is not meditation. Compare that experience with what we are doing now. So we will meet again on Saturday on this
Thank you,
session.
sir.
Thank you.